welcome to our lesson. We will be looking at median in this lesson. In our previous lessons, we looked at mean and then on group data, but here we are focusing on our attention on group data mean. Alright, so if you remember our table, we are still solving the same question. The question says below is the frequency distribution table of packed cell volume of 381 students in a school. Alright, and this is a table, and we are meant to just calculate the median alone. It's just the median we want to calculate. Alright, so what we just need to do, okay, we don't actually need this information, right? But at times in an exam situation, you could be asked to calculate the mean, the median, and the mode, or even standard deviation, still from the same table. So all you need to do is just to add extra column, right? And this column is going to be for cumulative frequency. What did I say? The column is going to be for cumulative frequency. So instead of writing it in full, I'll just write it for short. And the word cumulative means to add up. And what are we adding up? We are adding up our frequencies. Are we together? So that means I'll just bring the first frequency, I'll bring it here. The first frequency is 48. So 48 plus 76 is what?
124.
So it's 124. Alright, 124 plus 100 will give us 224. Then 224 plus 84
will give you 308.
308. Then 308 plus 51
359.
359. 359 plus 22 will give you 381. Okay, so just like I normally tell my students, very, very important, this 381, your last answer here, should be the same with 381 in your total. So that if you didn't get 381, or if you didn't get the last answer corresponding to this, something has gone wrong. But that means we are in order. Now let me say something before I move. If you look at some other materials, some other authors, they do their own upward. That is, they bring this 48 down, they go upward this way. So whichever author you are using, no problem. But I choose to go this way. So that I needed to say this because you have different authors and different textbooks and all of that. Alright, now, so that is that about the column for cumulative frequency. Next, we'll go now to start doing the calculation. And in the calculation for median, I will still leave part of my table because I'll need this table column for some references. Alright, so what is the formula for median? Median, I want you to hold this formula very, very well. Alright, median is equals to LB plus, open bracket, N over 2, then minus CF, close bracket, all over FMC. Okay, then you have your I. Alright, so this is the formula for median. Please, I must stress that this formula is for group data median. What is the formula? Median is equals to LB. LB stands for lower boundary. Lower boundary plus N over 2 minus CF, close bracket, I, then all over FMC. So, before we go into calculating, what is the meaning of these guys? What is LB? LB stands for lower boundary. Now let's come back to this. Remember, I've cleaned it. Maybe I should just write PCV. This is our PCV, right? If you remember, this was our F, and this was our midpoint, which is X. And this is our FX, and this is our CF. Okay? Now, the PCV, these ones on this side are called the lower limits. Then this other side are called the upper limits. Are you getting me now? Now, but we're looking for the lower boundary, not lower limits. So, how you do it is, you say lower boundary is equals to, alright, now, So let's just know the meaning first. LB stands for lower boundary. What is N? N stands for the total of the frequency. That is, if you add all this frequency, you get 381. Alright? Then the CF, we are coming to that. Then I stand for the width of the class interval. Alright. Now, there is the basic thing that we need to do first before we look at median. Now, what do we say is median? We say median from our definition is the middle observation. But in this context, we are dealing with columns and rows. Now, this is column, right? Then this way is rows. Now, so the first thing that you must determine before you go ahead in your calculation is to determine the row that is in the center. That is, you need to determine the middle row, not the column. Please, this is column, as I said, while this is row. So you need to determine the middle row. Now, by me looking, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So how will I know the one that is in the middle? Obviously, it's very difficult for me to know the one that is, because I have 2 rows in the middle. So I need to know which one of these I'm going to use as my middle row. Now that middle row is often called median class interval or median class. So I can call it middle row or median class. So what I want to do now first is for me to know the middle row or the median class interval. Now, so the formula I will use, now I've not started calculating the median first. I want to just know the middle row yet. So the middle, to know the middle row, the formula is n over 2. Right? N over 2. And our n stands for, represent 381 over 2. 381 by 2 will give you 190.5. Alright. Now 190.5, I will come to this cumulative frequency. Where do 190.5 falls within? Or which number is more closer to 190.5? Now if I look at it, 190 is obviously bigger than 124, right? But 190 is also not up towards 224. That means 190 is between 124 and 224. That means this 224 row now will now be my middle row using this formula. Okay? Now I need to explain that again. Now we need to know the middle row or the median class interval. To determine the middle row or the median class interval, I need to use this formula n over 2. Right? N over 2, which is 381 by 2, which will give me 190.5.